In the acquisition section of Google Analytics, you'll find a variety of reports that will help you understand how people are finding your website. You'll use your acquisition reports to identify what marketing efforts are working and which ones aren't. From email to social media to search engine optimization, these reports will help you identify which channels are bringing in your visitors and which channels are sending the highest quality traffic. You'll get to your acquisition reports by selecting Reporting from the top navigation of Google Analytics. And then in the left-hand navigation, you'll scroll down to Acquisition. And for this example, I'm just sitting here on the Overview report, which we're going to talk about in more depth in our next movie. Reports in the Acquisition section are broken out primarily by channel, source, medium, keyword, and campaign. And I want to review these concepts again together. Here on the Acquisition Overview page, you'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, we have our top channels. Channels, or channel grouping, is a bucket of sorts. Google's going to gather the most common sources of traffic and categorize them for you. So there's some rules that are applied, and what Google does is say, okay, this particular source fits well within the social bucket. Say it's because of Facebook or Twitter. Now, you can customize those channel groupings, and you would do that by choosing Edit Channel Grouping here at the top of the screen. However, I'm not going to dive into that, as I find that the default groupings are pretty satisfactory for what you're going to be doing as you get started with Google Analytics. Now, within your channel grouping, you're going to have your source. I'm actually going to navigate into our source medium report so I can show you a good example of this. But don't worry, we're going to dive deeper into these reports as we go through this chapter. I just want to give you a high-level overview. I'm going to bring in a secondary dimension of our default channel grouping so you can see how this sort of looks as you get deeper into it. So your default channel grouping will contain a source and a medium, which are displayed here on the left-hand side. Again, the source is the actual origin of the traffic. So here in this organic search channel group, the first line in this table, we notice that our source, our origin, is Google, and the medium is organic. For the most part, your medium will be similar to your channel, but a good example of where it might differ is down here on line 9. Here we see Facebook.com sent a referral. The medium was a referral, meaning referral traffic. But Google bucketed it into the social channel grouping. So it's going to assume more so that this link is a little bit more granularly associated to social than it is referral. And that makes sense. You would want to click into your social channel grouping to get an aggregate view of all of that social traffic. And Facebook, even though it's a referral, so somebody referred someone to your site on Facebook, it's still part of that social channel grouping. Now, there are some additional sources that you'll be able to look at, such as keywords. And keywords are going to be what people searched for to get to your site. However, that report has gotten a whole lot less useful than it's been in the past. And this is because Google recently switched over to using secured searches, and therefore all of the searches are private. So you're going to get some keywords that say not identified. Now, don't worry if you're not following with me on that just yet, because we're going to go into it a little deeper later on in this chapter. Overall, acquisition reports are some of my favorite reports in Google Analytics. You really get to look at not only how much traffic you're getting, but also the category of that traffic, the quality of that traffic, and it really gives you a good sense of how you can start figuring out what type of marketing you want to do. If you see that organic search is a low percentage of all of your traffic, you might consider doing some SEO. And we'll talk about that more as we continue in this chapter.